welcome back to the channel. Following on from the last episode, this week we're actually going to install the rear cylinder. So I've laid everything out on the bench. Still got obviously the clutch and all the oil pump and water pump chains and the water pump cover and the clutch cover. That's all been cleaned. All the surfaces are all okay, ready to take a gasket. So I've pulled out the rear cylinder. I'm going to quickly dismantle this because it is all in just loose. Again, new cam chain tensioner and new cam chain. Nothing much has happened with the bike, but I'll show you where I'm at. So there's all the parts laid out. This is all just loose fit. Obviously manual. All the old bits that we've taken off so far. I've left the brackets, the radiator stay brackets to one side. I say nothing has changed. So we're going to get this cylinder sorted. So I need to rotate the engine using the bolt in the middle so I can bring that to top dead centre. So front cylinder, that's all done. I think the only thing I did do off camera, there is a small O-ring that sits inside that water pipe connection. So I fitted that and clamped it down. As I say, front cylinder is done. So as I say, it's rear cylinder this week. Get the new gasket on. Get it to top, well, get the top dead centre, get the new gasket on, and we can start getting that cylinder back in. So first of all, we actually need to feed the new chain onto that sprocket there at the back on the crank, and then feed that up. And you should just see my finger, that's where it'll come up. So that's the job for today. See how far we get. May do the reassembly of this side in the next episode, but we'll see how it goes with this. I don't want to rush anything, I just want to take my time, make sure everything's right, and then probably start reassembling this side in the next episode. So that's where we're at the moment. Hasn't been too bad. I've just plugged away at it slowly, just got done what I need to get to get it back on the road. I'm not going to strip the carburetors apart this time. That will probably have to wait until I'm sorted in new location. But the main thing is to get this back together so it can run. So as I said, I'm happy with how progress is going. I really appreciate all your comments, all your feedback. There's been so many. As I've stated in previous episodes, it is taking me a little bit longer to get back to people because I'm actually trying to film this in blocks. So I think the last block I did was probably 4 or 5 videos, and now I'll probably film another 2 or 3. So obviously when you're coming back with comments, it's a bit awkward because I've moved further forward, if you understand. It's just the way I've got to do it at the moment because of time restrictions, etc. I just need to, when I've got time to spend on it, I spend as much time and just keep filming. So that's what I'll be doing again today. I've literally got probably 6 hours in the garage. So I'll actually crack through as much as I can and try and get this to as near to reassembled as possible, but just keep breaking the videos up. So as I say, this episode is the cylinder head, tensioner unit and the cam chain. Next episode will more than likely be the clutch, and all the chains, water pump chain, oil pump chain, etc., and get that back together, clutch cover. I may hold back on putting the clutch cover on, and the generator cover at the moment is just on loose because I need to torque the actual main centre nut on the clutch and the bolt on the pulley. They've got to be torqued, and I can't do that really until the rear cylinder's assembled and it's back on the ground. I can put it in gear, get the brake held, and then torque them up. So that's enough chat, let's crack on and get this cylinder head fitted. Right, so I've just stripped the loose parts from the head, laid them out in the order that they'll actually go back in. Obviously the other one I've got to do is actually, when it's in, is try and get the rear downpipe in, so a new gasket on that. I've also replaced that little rubber O-ring, and I've put the new gasket on the rocker cover. So ignoring the basket in the corner here, that is today's job. So I've winched I've just tied the carburetors up out of the way. Got the gasket in place. I just need to get the dowels out, and then I can position that in. So these locator dowels, they just pull out. So that top one there, is that one there, and then the other one will locate here. And that will hold the gasket in place. So next job is I'll move the timing around, and then when you see this piston it will be top dead centre. Alright, so I've rotated around the top dead centre, stuck these dowels in, and then put the new gasket over top. Next job is actually I'm going to slide the head over, and then I'm going to feed the cam chain up, because it is quite awkward to get to in this position. Then I'm going to have to try and get the tensioner unit in from the back. After this is in place. Right, so that is located, and yeah, I should have enough room to actually get the tensioner in. Obviously these two pipes are the ones that go up to the fuel tank. Yes, they go to the fuel tank. Right, so that's located nicely on the dowels. The blades are out of the way. Right, so again, if you remember when we took this apart, I put it on a board. So you've got the two here that are actually down inside that chamber, and then 3 and 3. Right, so you can see the bolts, one there and one there. I've just got to tighten those and tighten down the actual 6 main head bolts, and I'll do them in a crisscross pattern. Right, so next job is to torque these down. It's 53 Newton meters. I'm going to do it in 2 stage, so I'm using 35 to start with. Right, so that's torqued to 35, now I'm going to 53. Right, so that's all the head torqued down. Now we can start getting the chain and the camshafts in. Right, for the chain it's actually easier to drop it in from the top. I'll show you what I mean if I can hold that in. There we go, and that needs to sit on that back sprocket, which that is. And I've still got hold of it from the top. So again, it's got the EX on it, exhausts, and obviously it's got the marks on it. So we want RE. And again, same on the inlet. We're actually looking for RI. Right, there's the RI and there's the RE in line with the top of the cylinder head. So now I can actually put the clamps in place. Right, so that's everything in place. I just need to clamp these down and then torque them. Right, so I just need to torque these down, 21 Newton meters. Right, so the only thing's left to do, I've just got to attach the downpipe for the rear cylinder, which is down there. You can't feed it in to start with because there's a bar in the way, so I'm going to have to feed it up from the bottom. And the other one, you can just see the bottom of it, that's where the cam chain tensioner needs to go. So I'm going to get them two installed. Alright, not sure if you can see in there, but I've actually got the exhaust now installed. It was difficult to film because I was in the way too much. And also, just there, the actual cam chain tensioner, and that's bolted in. So next job to do, just move that out of the way because I don't want that getting trapped, is actually put the rocker head cover on and bolt that down. Right, so again, new rubbers. And then I just need to tighten that down. Right, so 10 Newton meters on these. And that is it for the rear cylinder. So that's front and rear done. Only thing I've got left to do is just connect that water pipe onto the inlet underneath the inlet rubber. And then next episode we'll crack on with putting back together the clutch and all the chains and bolts and sprockets. Right, so thanks for joining me on that one. Hope that one was helpful. As I say, I'm learning as I go, so hopefully this will help other people. As I express at the start of every video, these are not how-tos, they are a documentation of my progress through. I think the main thing is, if I do it and somebody else copies me and they do it wrong, I get the blame for it. So that's why the actual disclaimers at the front. I just like to film and document everything I do, of how I've read it from the manual. I always suggest on any bike, get a manual, follow the manual. I've made some mistakes and not followed it correctly, and I've learned the hard way. But please, the rear cylinder's now back in. Next episode, we're going to attack the clutch and get all the clutch put back in, all the chains. So we've got the oil pump chain, water pump chain, then obviously the main big cog that sits in front of, on the crank, which sits in front of the cam chain. And then we can refit the actual water pump cover and the clutch cover, brand new gaskets on both. So that's where we'll crack on to next, and then we'll see where we go from there. As usual, links to other videos, top left and top right. Normally a best for viewer and a playlist. Go and check them out, have a look at the other playlists. To say there's the ST, obviously I'm now building up the Varadero, there's been the Z650, the Hayabusa, there's quite a selection in there, so go and have a look. As I say, feel free to leave your comments, I'll get back to them as soon as I can. There's a link in the description to my Facebook page. If you want to say hi, pop across to there. Again, I do get back to people as quickly as I can. I do receive emails on a regular basis and messages, etc., which I really appreciate. But as I say, thanks for watching, appreciate all your support. Join me again next time. Cheers, bye.